2020 Chevy Traverse. Let's see if I can see that. Oil level sensor leaking. Needs to be replaced. I already went on my tangent, so I'll try to keep that out of here. What you're gonna have to do is pop your liner out of your tires. Well, obviously, there's this cross section right here sitting on the ground. You have to pull that off. You have to pull half your exhaust off. Use heat. I would recommend. The bolts are gonna be terrible. There's a lot of bolts. They're pretty obvious which ones you need to take out. I left these front two, sorry, and then these back two little 10 millimeters, so when I finally do get the oil pan free, doesn't fall on me. Now I'm gonna take my belt off, hopefully take that off, back that ridiculous bolt that should never be there out. Hopefully I can drop my pan and we'll look at the sensor from there. All right, so I got the oil pan out, cleaned it, cleaned the engine mating surface, not the final clean, just where I could try and test fit to see if I could get everything back together. To get it out, it is a pain and it is stuck. So undid all the bolts. I think I said in the last video I had two in here and I had to kind of slowly back them off because I didn't want the oil pan to drop. But what I ended up doing was getting a big pry bar, and right there where your oil level sensor is, sticking it like in between here and this part is your timing chain cover, and just kind of twisting and getting it pried from there to start. And then I ended up using two, twisting, prying here and give me a little gap, and then kind of getting up in the corners over there and just pry down gently. Both sides, it ended up popping free and it will come out. You kind of got to finagle it. There's a little, right up here, there's a little plastic, I don't know, mud flap, whatever. I'd recommend moving that to 6 millimeters. And then this was super easy to remove. 4 bolt or nuts, I guess. Just back them off, pull this off, and kind of stow it up out of the way. That's going to make it a lot easier to get in and out. As of right now, I'm test fitting it, and it is tight. I think it's doable to get it back up, not ruin the RTV. However, this timing chain cover interface, I'm a little worried that, because you have to, so try to show it in here. With this back here, you have to kind of come in about 2 inches this way and tilted down on this front end and kind of slowly start working it up in there, making sure you're perfectly straight. You have to be able to clear this timing chain and all this back here, and then you just kind of shimmy, and I got a little dead blow trying to keep everything as straight as I could, pop it over. I'm gonna do a couple more test fits until I feel comfortable throwing RTV on. Then I'll do a final cleanup and throw it in, and I guess see if it leaks. All right, got it in. All the bolts are hand tight, I guess. Not quite. As of right now, I'm 60% sure it's not gonna leak oil. Had to do some jankety stuff with the oil pan because the sensor was leaking. So I got these hand tight. I'm gonna let it sit till I get home from work tomorrow, torque them up, throw everything back together. It went about as I expected. I got a little panicky because I had the RTV on, but I dry fit tested it 15 times, got to where I was pretty confident I could get it up there without smearing too much. Did an okay job. You can see I got a little bit of smears going on right there, obviously, but not too much squeeze out. I think I've got RTV where I need it, and we'll see. I think I covered all the stuff. Yeah, definitely pull this out. Move your exhaust. I've seen another video where they pulled your CV in this. I don't think it's necessary. You can figure it out. Just, if this doesn't leak, my recommendation would be just take the time to dry fit it. Get confident in your seating. All right, been running for 15 minutes now, which obviously doesn't mean that we're done, but no visible leaks coming from anywhere. Part I was worried about was this timing chain cover, and that actually is looking really good. Got some stuff up there. That's from when it was leaking those, flinging this balancer pulley, flinging stuff up, but both sides look really good. So if it doesn't end up working out, probably put another video up, but it's definitely possible. Like I said, you got to take this exhaust off, take the front catalytic converter, move it up out of the way, get it fried off. Tips for getting it back on, like I said, dry fit, get your angles down. You got to feed this back corner in first, or sorry, you got to get the right here, those up and in first, and then you'll be kind of in a low position. Then you start with that back corner. Then you got to get it perfectly square, and do a really good job cleaning. Put a good bead of RTV down. I did the corners on the timing chain cover that's on the engine up here. Put some good blobs in there, and then the inside face of the timing chain cover, it's the only part that actually has one of those little like dimpled out, like routed out O-ring groove type things. So I made sure I got that kind of on the groove in the top half, because I knew I was going to be sliding and pushing up. And then I did a really thin coat along the face, the inner face on the pan, and kind of wiped it thin. Got it in low, and then just tapped her up into place, hand tighten the bolts, let it sit overnight, probably about 20 hours. Came and torqued it 20 foot-pounds, and I think we're golden. So you definitely don't need to pull your engine. It's actually not the most difficult thing I've ever done. It's a pain. The pan is extremely hard to get off. You got to be gentle with it. You don't want to jack up those mating surfaces, but not worth spending $3,000 to $4,000 to pay somebody to do it.